Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? It's your boy Taps, aka Mason, and welcome once again to the motivation channel or the motivational channel. Today, I just thought I'll make a quick video, and this video is something that just came out straight in my mind. So I just thought, you know what? I just want to come and share with you. As you all know, normally I make all my videos in the car, but you know what, if a subject matter just pops into your head, sometimes you just want to record it before you forget about it. For anybody that doesn't know anything about this channel, we are the motivational channel. This is the only place where we try to educate, enlighten, and try to awaken and teach people things that might not necessarily be aware of. Okay, so this is literally just like a learning zone. Okay, and but I need to put a disclaimer out there, as I always do in any of my videos. I never claim to be an authority or an expert in any of the things that I do say. These are just opinions and thought patterns. Okay, and you don't have to accept the things I say. You don't have to run with them or even agree with them. But what I try to make you do is to at least consider it and go and do your own research, okay, if you can. Okay, so yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here with me. Today, the subject of this video is, I want to say, religion is the biggest obstacle in Africa's progress. Okay, basically, Africa is being kept in the dark because of religion, in my opinion. And if you look at the whole of Africa, Africa has been made docile, stagnant, politically, economically, and socially. And the biggest culprit between all of this, the biggest catalyst of all the problems, is actually religion. A lot of people do not even apply logic and reasoning in any of their lives in most African countries, because they're very superstitious, or they are guided by the doctrine and dogma of religion. And because of that, anything that they are supposed to do. One clear example is, for example, when politicians are not doing the right job, or when politicians aren't doing what they are supposed to be doing. Instead of using logic and reasoning and demand your rights to be exercised, demand to challenge your politicians, regardless of who they are, whether they are just ministers or prime ministers or presidents. Now, a lot of people, especially African people, what they do, they go to church and start praying about it. Do you know what I mean? Instead of confronting a situation, they rather pray about it. And this goes along so much different spectrum of life. This even stretches into personal lives as well. Most African people, and I've noticed that with my own eyes. This is not something I'm just making it up. I've just seen it because I'm African. I'm from Zimbabwe, so I've seen it with my own eyes. And sometimes what a lot of people tend to do is, when they've got personal issues or personal problems, personal dilemmas, personal situations that they need to resolve, instead of applying logic and reasoning to it, what they tend to do is to pray about it. The first course of action whenever an African is confronted with a problem is to pray. Most people never take time to actually sit down, analyze the situation, and be rational about it. You know what I mean? Like, think using logic and reasoning and try to resolve the situation using your mind. Most African people, they tend to pray. And this is because we've been indoctrinated into the belief that any problem that comes across your way, your Jesus or your God is going to answer and help you. So most of the time, we do not even take responsibilities of our own actions. Because most of the time we're always thinking Jesus or God is going to help us. So that's the biggest problem that we've got in Africa. And religion is the biggest obstacle, the biggest catalyst that is hindering Africa's progress. We're still stuck in the dark ages. Europe used to be like that a long time ago, but they had to come out of it. They had to come out of religion. That's when Europe went through the Reformation. They went through the Enlightenment age, when they had to discard religion and start to apply logic and reasoning in everything they did. And that's how we even got the Industrial Revolution. That's how we even that's how we even got technological advancement. It's simply because man and women start using logic and reasoning instead of superstitious beliefs. As Africans, we're still stuck in the past. We still think every single thing that is problematic in our lives, we need to pray. Our politicians, Africa's politicians, instead of being confronted, instead of going for demonstrations, instead of asking an audience and challenging them face to face, we choose not to do that. We choose to pray. And we always think that Jesus or God is going to help us. But Jesus and God has never helped us. Jesus and God has never helped us. Has never helped us during the slave trade. Has never helped us during colonization. Has never helped us today. And will never help us tomorrow. Do you know why? Because Jesus and God do not exist. Those are invisible fairy beings. Okay? You have to believe in yourself. You are your own Jesus. You are your own God. This is the problem that we've got in Africa. We are very superstitious in thinking all of our problems, somebody else is going to help us for us. We do not have time to and we don't even apply logic and reasoning in things that we do. Our brains are docile. We don't even think beyond the box. Every single time when something happens, even a problem that happens in a family, the first thing that you have to do is to pray. When something happens, something good happens, we always thank God. Oh, God has done this. God has done this for us. When something fantastic and absolutely brilliant happens to any of our members in our family, the first thing that we have to do is to thank God. Why? Why are we so religious? Religion was only introduced to us not very long time ago. I'm from Zimbabwe. Religion was only introduced to us in the 13th century. That's about 700 years ago, give or take. But prior to that, because Africans, we've lived in Africa for hundreds and thousands of years, and we had our own tradition and culture. But this religion was brought to us. And we are defenders of this religion, passionate defenders of this religion. But we don't even have a clue. We don't even know who Jesus was. We don't even know who God is. We haven't even got a name, a direct translation for God in our language, in our Bantu language. In my country, Zimbabwe, we've got a God which is called Mwari. And Mwari is different from God of Yahweh. Because Mwari is a spiritual deity. Okay? And Yahweh is a spiritual deity for the Jews. So he's got absolutely nothing to do with us. But in Africa, in Zimbabwe, we know there is a creator. The creator of creation, Musikalano. And this creator of creation, we talk to him through our ancestors, because we know that nobody dies. Everybody goes into the ancestral realm or the spiritual realm. And every person that has died before us, you can actually die because there's no death. Passed over, you can actually talk to them in the spiritual realm. We've known this for for thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years. We no longer contact our ancestors and communicate with our ancestors. We no longer venerate our ancestors. The bringers of this foreign religion that made you to believe that you are worshipping your ancestors. We never worship our ancestors. What we do is we venerate and communicate with them. We ask for guidance. And we've done this for a very, very long time. Religion is the biggest obstacle in Africa. And until we get rid of religion, it does not matter whether it's a Hinduism, Christianity, or Islam, whatever religion it is, as long as it's not African, as long as it's not African tradition, culture. The other thing is, in Zimbabwe, in Africa, we do not have religion. What we have is tradition and culture. Tradition and culture is totally different from religion, because tradition and culture is embedded in our philosophical way of living, our everyday today way of living. That's what we've always practiced in Africa. Religion, this foreign religion, is made us docile. In churches, I live in the UK at the moment, and every Sunday I see black people getting dressed up and going to churches and everything, praying hallelujah and this and that. But the same people, the English people who gave you this religion, they are stuck indoors. They are chilling, having quality time with their families and friends, cooking Sunday roast, Sunday dinners, relaxing, thinking about the next move, what they're going to be doing for the next week. But we Africans, we are always praying. Praying for what? What has this Jesus and this God has done for us? There's still poverty and wars in Africa. There's still diseases in Africa. Most Africans that are risking their lives going to the diaspora because there's so much famine, there's so much poverty, there's so much economic problems, political, social problems, all sorts of problems. But where's this Jesus and where's this God? But we still cling to this religion. Until we get rid of religion, Africa will never get out of this dark age. And I know that a lot of people don't want to hear this message, because you're going to be thinking this is heresy. But you're going to be thinking this is heresy because you do not understand. You do not understand something you've been lied to. That's the thing. Your parents have been lied to, and your great-great-parents have been lied to. So this lie has been passed on to you. I believe it was Adolf Hitler, who said these words. Say a simple lie more often, and that lie will become believed as time goes on. And this is not word verbatim. I'm not quoting his words, but he said something along those lines. If you say a lie and you repeat it as much often as possible, slowly and gradually, people are going to believe that lie. Okay? Or it could be if you say a bigger lie, and say it more often. I think so. I can't remember exactly what he said, but the point what I'm trying to say is, if you say a big lie, if you tell a big lie to people and you repeat it as more often as possible, people are going to believe that. And that's exactly what happened to Africa. We've been sold this foreign religion. It does not matter if it's Hinduism, Islam, or Christianity. I haven't got nothing against Christianity. I've got nothing against Islam. I've got nothing against Hinduism. I've got everything against a religion, because Africa, we are the cradle of civilization. Mankind originated in Africa. So if there is any religion that we need to teach people, it is our African religion, because we are the originators, the original people. But yet, we believe in this foreign religion Jesus Christ, our ancestors never heard of Jesus Christ before 700 years ago, before the 13th century. So what happened to them? Are they going to hell? All our ancestors who died before the advent of Christianity into Africa. So what happened to them? But you never stop to think about this. What you call Jesus or what you call God is your mind. The thing is, a lot of people, you do not give yourself credit for the things that you do. If you do something excellent, something good, give yourself credit. And of course, you can give credit to your ancestors, because your ancestors are your guiding spirits. Your ancestors are watching your every move. And the best thing you can do is to only thank them and venerate them. And this is what we've always done for a very long time. Because what you have to do, what you have to understand is that us Africans, we do understand metaphysics. And we've known metaphysics for a very long time ago. But the people that gave you religion did not understand Africans' metaphysics. And they gave you a religion. And you have strayed away from something that your ancestors have always known for a long, long time. When somebody dies, even though there's no death, they go into the spiritual realm. Because spirit does not die. Spirit is energy. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. And when energy passes on to another realm, because there are so many dimensions, we are living in this physical dimension, but when somebody passes on, especially if they have purified themselves, because the whole purpose of us being here in this world is to purify, elevate yourself, and go to the next realm. If you've been living a life full of virtue, a life full of compassion and empathy, a life full of love, when you do die, your soul has been purified. It's no longer dense, it's lighter. And when it's lighter, it elevates or it evolves to another dimension. And when it gets to another dimension, it's at a higher upper level. And it can guide the people in the world, in the physical realm. This is what we've always understood. When we go to burial sites and doing rituals, it's not because we are worshipping dead people. Africans have never worshipped dead people. There's nothing called death in Africa. We've known this for a very long time. Only the Western world, they're just coming into grips with it just now. But we've known it for a very, very long time. Ladies and gentlemen, until Africa get rid of religion, we're always going to be in the dark age. It's about time for us to start thinking for ourselves using logic and reasoning, and also get in touch with our tradition and culture, which is consulting, communicating, venerating our ancestors. It is your ancestors that give you guidance. It is your ancestors that give you the directions. But you need to talk to them. You need to contact them. And of course they can hear you. And of course they can answer you. Because we are spiritual beings. You are a spirit. You are not flesh and bones. And our ancestors are in a spiritual realm. So this will be spirit to spirit talking, communicating. There is no Jesus that has helped us before. Where was this Jesus when we were getting colonized? Where was this Jesus when we were getting raped, when we were getting killed? Where was this Jesus when we were being genetically, our genitals getting mutilated, when our heads were getting decapitated? Where was he? He was never there. When our land and our resources were being taken, where was this Jesus and your God, Yahweh, Elohim, whatever his name is? They were never there. So what makes you think today they're going to be helping you? Today, lots of Africans are still going to church. Europeans, white people do not go to church on a Sunday. They'd rather stay in bed, or they'd rather watching telly, or they'd rather be cooking Sunday roast. In UK, it's a culture. It's their traditional culture to cook Sunday roast on a Sunday. And families are invited. Most people that go to their parents or their grandparents, and sit down and do and enjoy family life and cook Sunday roast. This is more blessed than going to church. Ladies and gentlemen, Africa, religion is the biggest obstacle in Africa. Until we get rid of this religion, we will never ever progress. We will never come out of this dark age. We've been sold a lie and we've believed a lie, and now we are living a lie. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this video really is going to help you. And I'm really sorry. I did not mean to hurt people's feelings, but I just want to tell you the truth. I want my people to wake up. I want Africa to wake up. I want Africa to develop. I mean, right now I'm in the UK. I mean, if truth be told, I'd rather be in my country, which is Zimbabwe. But because there's so much problems that's been going on, economic, social, political problems, and they're all intertwined with religion. Because once you stop being religion, what you're going to be doing, you're going to be questioning your politicians. You're going to be challenging your politicians. You're going to be confronting your politicians. And you're going to be demanding change. You're not going to go and get and kneel and raise your hands and start praying. What you're going to be doing is you're going to go to the office building, government buildings, and you're going to be challenging. And you're going to be doing mass demonstrations. That's how we're going to bring change in Africa. And our philosophy, and you're going to be changing the mind view or the perception of our children. Everything is going to change because you're going to be starting to believe in yourself. There is no Jesus or God that's going to help you because there was never one before, and there's never going to be one in future. What makes you think in 2019 your life is going to be helped when in 400 years ago there were slaves who were getting killed, fed to the sharks, raped, genitals getting ripped off, heads decapitated? But this Jesus was never there. This God was never there. But in 2019, all of a sudden he's going to make a sudden appearance. Come on. So that's what I'm trying to teach you, my people. That's what I am trying to make you wake up to. I know that you've been indoctrinated, and I know you always believe Jesus is going to help me. Jesus has done this for me. But have you stopped for a second and start thinking maybe it's because of your own doing? You got that job because you do deserve it. You got that job because you have the qualifications for it. You've got that car because you saved up cash for it. You've got that house because you got that good mortgage deal, or because you saved up for it. It's got nothing to do with Jesus. Maybe it's got something to do with you. And maybe it's got something to do with your ancestors that are watching over you. Maybe it's because of the ancestors that opened the doors for you. Why you gotta give credit to this Jesus? Why? On a Sunday, instead of you spending time with your family, visit your friends and family. Make them feel good. Cook food for them. Have a barbecue. Listen to music, dance. Make other people happy. Why? And on top of that, we're always giving tithing at church. You're giving money. Money to who? To who? How do you undermine your God that he must be poor, that he needs money? Money to who? The creator of this world, the creator of earth, the creator of the galaxies. Do you know how many galaxies are there in the universe? Do you know how many galaxies are there in the universe? And you think your Jesus is going to need your 10, 20 quid? Jesus is going to need your $10, 10 pounds, 20 pounds. Really? Come on, man. How you even undermine your own Jesus, your own God? Africa, it's time for us to think. It's time for us to open our eyes. And I hope and I wish you can see from my perception. And I hope you can finally see the world differently and change your ways. This religion, it's you're not gonna go to hell. There's no hell. Don't worry about it. There is nothing. Nothing's gonna happen to you. You can stop believing in all that stuff. What you have to do is start believing in yourself and start showing gratitude to your ancestors who came before you, because they are watching over you. They are in a spiritual realm, okay? And they're watching your every move. All you have to do is contact them and be in touch with them and ask for guidance. Wherever you get stuck, ask for guidance, okay? Thank you very much, and hopefully you have a good day. Bye-bye.